I'm Rich Allen, I'm the Director of Viticulture and Winemaking.
And I'm Patrick Tokar, I'm the viticulturalist for Rombauer Vineyards, and we're here at Davitto Ranch, one of the many estate vineyards owned by Rombauer Vineyards.
So it was 20 years before Colonel Rombauer purchased his first vineyard, and now that we're here in our 40th year, that means a lot to us. Being able to control everything from 48 inches down the soil to the bottling process allows us to really take control of the quality and make sure that our customers get the best wine possible.
We have this ranch, Davitto, BUCHLI Station and Pacific, which is Chardonnay and Merlot. We have Hackett, which is Cabernet, Atlas Peak, which is Cabernet, STICE, which is also Cabernet, and then our Bennett Ranch up in Calistoga, which is Cabernet, Zinfandel, Sauvignon Blanc, and Petit Verdot. And of course, we've got Twin Rivers in the El Dorado County, which has Zinfandel, Petit Syrah, and a bunch of port varieties.
So we're here today at the southern tip of the Napa and Sonoma Valleys in the Canaris region, which is one of the only appellations that spans both Napa and Sonoma. It's very close to San Pablo Bay, as you can see behind us. And what's really interesting about it for us when it comes to making Chardonnay is we're looking at a very narrow strip. So it's about 4 miles north to south, 20 miles east to west. We start picking on the Napa side and work our way across. That proximity to San Pablo Bay and the clay soils allow us to ripen Chardonnay. It's got a very high fruit flavor and high fruit intensity, yet retain acid. And that's exactly what we're looking for when it comes to making Rombauer Chardonnay.
So Davitto is 174 acres, a beautiful vineyard. You can see it's got hills, it's got some flat areas, so it's got a little bit of all the different types of terrain. It was purchased in 2013, and we developed it over 3 years, 14, 15, and 16, each year doing about 60 acres. The rolling hills behind us, that is actually a very famous shot. If you guys can remember Windows XP, the home screen there, Bliss, was taken right down there. So just a fun fact.
The most seen photograph in the world, actually.
There you go.
One of the reasons the Davitto Ranch is so good for Chardonnay, it has our favorite soil type for growing Chardonnay, hair clay loam. It has many different aspects on rolling hills, but also, again, it's right in that Goldilocks zone, the 4 miles north to south, the 20-mile wide region, and that allows us to get this perfectly ripened fruit. I mean, you can see here on the vines, they're looking pretty pristine. We've been working with the vineyard now for several years. We're starting to identify the best plots and the best sections, and hopefully in the future we'll see a single vineyard Chardonnay as the vineyard matures. So Patrick, could you tell us a little bit about the 2019 growing season and why it was so good?
Sure. So 2019 was a great year for growing grapes. It started out really nice and mild. We got a little bit of late rains, which was fine because it filled up our soil profile. And then the weather stayed really nice throughout the whole year. So we didn't have some really huge heat spikes, and everything just came about naturally. It was a perfect year.
But speaking about Chardonnay, we probably should taste some. I'm going to pour you a glass here of the 2019. This particular wine, actually about 15% of it comes from this ranch. About 70% of it comes from the Sonoma side of Canaris.
Well, I think one of the most beautiful things about working for Rombauer is being able to come out here and watch the vines develop throughout the year, watch the fruit grow, ripen, and then we get to pick it, and I finally get to taste the fruits of my labor. So Rombauer Vineyards is very proud of their vineyards and very dedicated to the land. And because of that, every property in the estate vineyard program is certified sustainable through various programs. And this means that we take care of the vines and the vineyards, the land, a little bit more consciously than just conventional farming. We look at different aspects in the vineyard, whether it be owl boxes or hawk perches for vertebrate control, natural vertebrate control, or we try to reduce the amount of pesticides we use in the field. We also are very careful in the amount of water that we use because water is such a valuable resource to us that we want to make sure that we're only using as much as we need.
One of the aspects that we're really proud of in our sustainability program is our compost. Whenever we see a nutrient deficiency in the vineyard, we're big believers in using organic compost under the vine row to ensure that the vines stay healthy for the next generation to come. So now that you've seen the vineyard, we're going to throw it over to our state-of-the-art Chardonnay production facility and the guys over there to tell you a little bit more about how the wine is made.
Thanks, Richie. Hi, I'm Andrew Holloway, the associate winemaker here at Rombauer Vineyards. And now that you've seen where the Chardonnay is grown, let's take a look inside the Napa state-of-the-art Chardonnay winery to see where we make it. Come on. So here we are on the crush pad where the Chardonnay fruit during harvest is picked at night, comes in the early morning hours, 3, 4, 5 a.m. So we put it right into these bladder presses behind me, which separate the juice right from the skins and seeds, which goes to tank. So let's go see those tanks. So here we are at the tanks where the freshly pressed juice has just come from the presses and across these fixed lines into the tanks. It's going to settle for about 24 hours and then it'll go straight to barrel. And that's where we're going to go take a look at how it's fermenting along. So let's go. Now we're here in the barrel room where the Chardonnay is fermenting away. Barrel fermentation is a really key aspect of the winemaking philosophy here at Rombauer. It really delivers the texture and creaminess that we're looking for. And behind me you have John and Oki. John with 21 years and Oki 32 years of stirring experience. So these guys kind of know what they're doing. But what they're doing is they're stirring the lees to resuspend the solids and create that creamy textured mouthfeel that you're really come accustomed to with Rombauer Chardonnay, and really a key aspect for the wine for us. So yeah, carry away guys. So here we are at the last step where we get the wine right in the bottle. Fresh off the line and coming on a truck near you. Cheers.